3.
Hi, it's Kathy Kress again, and I am back with my Geriatric Care and Management YouTube series. And we have been doing a whole series on the tools of a geriatric care manager. And if you go back and look at the whole series, I have done psychosocial assessment, I've done functional assessment, I've done caregiver assessment, so now we're doing tools. And we have been dealing with a family and a client, an elderly client named Gertrude Sterling. And we have Miss Full Charge, the geriatric care manager, and she is working with a family that includes Jane, the daughter, who wanted to place Gertrude, and you can go back and look. Miss Full Charge has been really resourceful, and she has used what I call core skills now to really help this family. And she is contained, and you can look at the last episode, all of everyone's sadness, anger, hope in herself, and been objective about it. So that's C, it's core skills, C, containment, O for objective, and then she's used resources. So what are the resources? Well, a geriatric care manager uses the continuum of care, and there are all the resources you can bring in the community where you work to help the situation. And the first is support groups. Well, I'm not going to go into what they are. I hope you out there know what I'm talking about, but support groups really help you to be around other people that have the same issues. And so she suggested to Jane, the daughter, that Jane get involved in a support group of family members that were supporting an older adult with problems. You could use as a resource individual counseling. Well, Miss Full Charge has suggested that Jane really look into individual counseling because she's, her hair is on fire. I've said that a million times. Between the teenage daughters and the husband and Gertrude, she's going crazy. Plus, she's an attorney and has a law practice. Oh, she needs counseling. You can use family meetings. And when will happen, we will talk about that when it comes up, because these brothers and sister are going to have to talk about what will be the next step. And that's what a family meeting is, where you draw consensus. And also you have to contain, because everybody's going to say what they're angry about and what you did when you were 2, and and then you bit me, and you're going to have to mediate this. Psychiatric interventions. You can suggest that if you feel like there's really psychiatric problems that are there's an overview of psych problems either with the adult children or with your older client. And you can use biofeedback, hypnosis. That may seem alien to some of you, but in California we wouldn't certainly think that was. And we, is not, my father used to say, when all the nuts, when they twisted the United States and turned it over a little bit, all the nuts rolled down to California. Well, we didn't. I'm an East Coast girl. However, biofeedback can be, a lot of modalities can be really helpful that aren't in Western medicine. Okay, so you can use other Miss Full Charge, other resources within the continuum of care, and that can be self-care resources. So, both Jane and her mother could get their nails done. This sounds little, but what you need when you're in so much trouble is someone to touch you. Don't you admit everything to the hairdresser? Tell me the truth, ladies. You can get massage. Another way of, anybody that's had it, it's really relaxing. There's lots of places where elderly people can get massage, but for Jane needs massage. Yoga is a wonderful modality to become centered, to be able to get through very difficult times in a more centered way. And that's, that's not a California thing now. You're doing it on the East Coast. Emotional resources, and there are wonderful educational resources. And there are wonderful educational resources out there about families. And one is the Family Caring Network. It's a fabulous resource. Just Google it. and so that have all sorts of support for caregivers. And then Jane can read books, and there are wonderful books out there. Like there's a great book called Dutiful Daughters, Caring for Our Parents as We Grow Older. The author is Jean Gold. And Simone, I might be saying this wrong. My French is terrible, although I can. Someone's helping me. Dubois.
Simone de Beauvoir.
Dubois. I'm sorry. I always need to apologize to my French teacher, but actually she wrote a book. She was a dutiful daughter. And what would be really helpful in this case is that she is French, and this is a European kind of dutiful daughter thing that happens in Europe, and who is Gertrude, but she's Danish. And it's a whole cultural thing that happened to her in Denmark, because one daughter is selected to take care of the mother, and she doesn't get married. And then the last resources that can be used are legal. And one of the best resources you can use is NALA, the National Association of Elder Law Attorneys. Get an elder law attorney. Just put that into your Google machine, as Rachel Maddow will say, and just put your zip code in, and you will get wonderful elder law attorneys. And they will need an attorney to do a special needs trust, because in this case you have one child who has special needs. He's an adult son, but one of the reasons that Gertrude did not want to spend her money on care was because she wanted to save her money after she died for the needs of this son, Michael. So we need legal sources there. And respite resources, family caring, it's FCA, Family Caring Association, has wonderful, they have respite camps for caregivers. I mean, how cool is that? I don't think it's just in California either. I may be a bit defensive. And public benefits. Well, one of the things that Gertrude has a hard time with is ambulation. And under Medicare, the doctor could order OT and PT, occupational therapy and physical therapy, under Medicare that would be paid for by a public benefit. And so we're going to end up now. There are some of the resources that you can use as a geriatric care manager. They're all based on my manual that's out now, my Geriatric Care Management Agency Operations Manual, and I will see you next time.